media will bring about discourse, intellectual discourse.
Exactly. I mean, naturally, one would have thought that way.
So these days, I don't even bother about even tweets, X, and so on and so forth, because the level of discourse there is appalling,
It is.
to say the least.
It is.
Then it occurred to me that it's like you go to Moshi Market or you go to Ladipo, and instead of going to buy the spare part, the Kickstarter, use Kickstarter, whatever you want to buy, you sit down and talk with certain persons. I'm not saying that everybody should agree with you. No. But the kind of language, and people don't know that it reflects on their kind of person.
Right.
Then the lazy ones are the ones that also irritate me. Very lazy. Can't want something that he hates. That's the common one. He hates it. By the way, our president is back.
Oh,
He was with Akpabio yesterday. I checked on him. He was there. And I don't mean that I went there, but
that would have been something, right?
I didn't go there.
Lagos, let's start. We have our first story from the Vanguard newspaper, page 10. Lagos Assembly crisis. I have not resigned. Speaker Miranda.
Well, we're also keeping tabs on what's going on, because, like they say in politics, 24 minutes, indeed 24 seconds is a long time in politics. So the latest we have today is that the speaker has refuted claims that she has resigned. She has not resigned. She spoke through her chief press secretary, who said, I'm in the office. The speaker is in the office. I don't know where that is coming from. Then, in the manner of spokespersons, he says it is a lie from the pit of. You don't need all this drama. The spokespersons are there. Normally we wouldn't be reacting. Then you will react. You don't need all this drama, Mr. Spokesperson. The speaker is in the office. What do? You say the speaker is in the office. You do a short video or a short photograph, or you go there with your tape and say, "Madam, say hello" or whatever. To start describing something as from the pit of, it has no effect. But she says that he says, I'm doing my work as a CPS. Nobody is interested in what he's doing. It's the speaker we want. And he says, speaker, when you are a spokesperson, it is an art. If you go to the school of PR, writing press releases is an art in itself. And you must go straight to the point without embellishment. Because embellishment means nothing. It shows unseriousness. We do not know where the story is coming from. You do. It's from your detractors. It's a political thing. So don't say we do not know where the story is coming from. Anyway, it says the speaker has not resigned and there is no plan for that. Also, the assembly spokesperson yesterday debunked the claims that 27 members of the APC have defected to the Labour Party. I don't think anybody in the right senses would have believed that. Even if there's going to be defection, it's not in this.
To the Labour Party.
So not well, but not even in this circumstance. And the House described the claim as malicious fake. It's not malicious. It's part of political strategy. Stop using these big words. I mean, just want to make people say you go grammar. It shows seriousness when you just say, I don't know, we know the way politics goes. But, let's be more human and natural in our reactions. I wish I could hold a small seminar for spokesperson. Same thing when you call customer service. I say, I say, good morning. My name is Mr. Jimi. I put Mr. there before you start calling me Jimi. Mr. Jimi, what can we do? That's not rude. My name is Mr. Disu. Spokespersons these days, I don't know, etiquette is thrown completely out of the window. Don't call me Mr. Sheriff. It's Mr. Quadry. Oh, sorry. My apologies. I haven't been noticing. Add Quadry.
Aj Quadry.
Or if you want to say it, still by Ajilola. Anyway, that's what it is. Obasa says that discovery of firearms in my office a concussion. I took that story itself with a pinch of salt. If Obasa was going to keep any arms, it won't be in the assembly. he will have some warehouse to put them. So I didn't even believe all that, to be honest with you. But it's all politics. And then again, another women's group say, no fewer than 60 women's groups yesterday condemned the invasion, harassment, and so on and so forth. It's an ongoing drama. It's a bit quiet. At 9 o'clock, we'll have General Olanrewaju, who will be here at 9 o'clock, retired. He's the head of an indigenous group. And so many factors have gone into the issue of speaker, indigenous, women. So we had the women's group. That the one person I would like to have in this studio, and if anybody can help me, I'll be very, very happy, is Obasa himself.
Oh, okay.
If anybody can do that one for me, I will surrender my car, if you can bring Obasa physically.
Boys, let's mobilize.
He's a forerunner. The forerunner goes to about every fortnight. Why are you stopping now?
Boys, it's not just ordinary forerunner. Let's just organize. Let's coordinate.
Exactly one that.
It's not my cow. Don't mind him.
Honest to God, if I could get Obasa here, if you'll oblige us so that he can come and state his case, I'd be more than happy to have him. I'd be more than happy to have him, but I don't know where to contact him.
Yeah, well, hopefully. Let's
maybe he's. I assume he'll be listening to these programs early in the morning these days.
I assume too. Let's go to page 8. Vanguard. Visa denial. Nigeria won't tolerate disrespect from any country. CDS.
So this visa issue won't go away. A country has the right to admit people. It's like your home. You have your right to open your door or not open your door. I don't know whether to call it disrespect. But even if it were disrespect, I think respect starts from respecting yourself and knowing where to go, what to do, obeying the rules. And I think we've done enough analysis as to whatever could have been the reason for that denial. I just wish that the CDS hadn't mentioned it again. Rather, had told us, because one thing, Sheriff, is that when you are denied, a reason was always given to you why you are denied.
That's right.
The CDS hasn't told us why he was denied. He must have been told something. He must have been, and I think we need to be careful. He's towing the line of the NSA, but the Foreign Affairs Minister, I'm sure, would have one or two things to say to these gentlemen. That don't let's go along this path. Let's trigger anything. And he warned that will not accommodate any form of disrespect from any country against its citizens, said it was important for everyone to understand that the country deserves respect. He also dismissed insinuations in some quarters that members of the armed forces were not invited to Vancouver to participate in the Invictus Games. Excuse me, speaking at Defense Headquarters, remember that the Games are a private enterprise. It was designed by the Duke of Sussex, that prince.
Princess, yes.
Yes. So, speaking at Defense Headquarters yesterday, shortly after he received wounded military personnel that participated in the Games, the CDS noted that Nigerians were being treated unfairly by some countries. Nigerians are being treated unfairly by their own government. Yes. I don't think I've been fairly treated by this government. I want somebody in government to tell me the one fair thing that has happened to me as a citizen. And I've been in this country for close to 70 years. Yes, when I was younger, this government, I was proud to be a Nigerian. My government treated me and gave me the kind of respect that I deserved even when I left this country. I went to school thanks to this. Not that I was poor, no, but I went to school. This government was good. The government of the day at that time. So we need to be careful with these things and put things in a proper balance. Giving an insight into what actually transpired during the preparation of the Games, General Musa said that they followed all due processes Is that right? Adding that every concerned government officials, including the ministers of Foreign Affairs, Defense and NSA, were aware of the invitation to the Invictus Games. Were aware. That's the word. Aware. On the issue of denial of visa, it must be tackled on all fronts, and I'm happy the federal government is taking up the matter. Good. I'm happy the government has done that. Nigeria is good enough for all of us. We had an agreement. We were invited. The program was sent to us. We followed our requirements. We followed process. Everybody knows members of the armed forces will never take shortcuts. I don't agree with that. They are Nigerians. Nigerians like shortcuts. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Minister of State, the NSA, everybody is aware of this journey, and we followed process. But for reasons best known to them, most of the members of the team were denied visas. I remember a close friend of mine, years back, who went to China on a delegation of the federal government and had nothing whatsoever. His brother just put his name there. Oh, well, China, okay, put his name there. That has always been abused. Olympics, name it. In fact, some slots are sold. So we have a reputation. We need to tell ourselves so. I'm not making up a defense for the Canadians, but also we need to re-examine ourselves. That's the point that I'm trying to make. It would help if the CDS could tell us, in his own particular case, what was the reason given to him. Because I hear that if you... I've never applied for a visa really first, I don't know, but I hear that when you are denied, a reason is given. Oh, we don't think he will come back. Oh, we don't think it will be nice.
There's a reason. There are always reasons. So, yeah.
Anyway, the federal government we here has taken it up, and hopefully the Canadians aren't likely to say anything, because, like they said, it's private. They're not going to be telling everybody the reasons why. Oh, there was something you did 10 years ago, therefore your name was put on so and so list. Bleed was able to explain to us that sometimes your name could have been on the list, maybe like when you are a major. Okay, and it will catch up with you because it's not going to go up the list and stuff like that.
Okay.
Let's all just be careful in the international whatever, so we are not like crybabies. What's the big deal about going to Canada anyway? It's a big deal.
They probably felt to them it was more like a national insult to them. They're not even thinking of themselves. They are looking at it like Nigeria being embarrassed by Canada.
But a country has the right
yes,
guidelines to admit to. So I don't see. I'm sorry, I'm more practical than that. I don't see what the insult is, really and truly. It's not as if you were given a visa, when you got there, you were turned back. You applied, they look at their own parameters, you don't fit into it, and they say, sorry. After all, they did give some people the visas. They turned down others.
Yes.
Yeah. And it could be a simple thing like age not balancing up. Maybe in the form you filled, you say date of birth, you put 1967. Then the recruitment in the army was 1939. You know, it could be, let me tell you, the simplest of all is names. If you ask the average Nigerian, what is your name? Okay. For instance, my full names are Jimi Disu, but I'm known as Jimi Disu. Now, the Igbo man doesn't know, might not necessarily know that Jimi is a coinage of Fola Jimi. So if I'm Jimi Disu, my passport is Jimi Disu, my driver's license is Fola Jimi Disu. That's a contradiction. People need to know these things. There was a case of a man who was arrested in Atlanta. My friend Abi Akpachira, he told me this story. So the man was arrested with his wife, Yagili, everything going somewhere. And the policeman said, well, he just said, look, next time do this way. Then the man put his hand in his pocket and gave him money. Please give this to my children at home. If it was a Nigerian policeman, OTA, he came about me, found my mommy. But this policeman thought this guy must be crazy. He said, how can I give this to your own children at home? I quickly dismissed him. This is a not case. So we need to understand these things. If your name is I've seen people who are called Dupe, for example. You are known as Dupe. Your school cert reads Dupe. Your university certificate reads Modupe. So little things like that could,
Indeed.
trigger all kinds of things. For the first time, I saw an advert yesterday. The minister for mines, they put his name, Henry Dele Alaki. I said, I've known Dele Alaki all my life now. When this one is, I've known that all my life. Is a Henry Dele Alaki at almost 70s when Henry surfaces from. I think I'm going to change my name to Bashir Disu. So, talking seriously, little things like that, in filling of forms, inconsistencies, raises a doubt. Yeah. And the guys at the consular of Scotland, they are rigid civil servants, very rigid. What they are looking out for is a discrepancy, and once they see it, they'll pounce on it. So what are your full names?
Sheriff Quadry.
Is it Abdul
Not
Sharif?
Sheriff
Or
Dean, not
Muhammad
Abdul Sharif, not Muhammad Sharif, not anything.
Not Sharif
Not
Uddin.
Abdul Quadry, not Sharifu, not all of those.
Is it double R?
It's one R,
You see?
double F.
Some of these things are even computer based. If somebody put double R and you put single R, the computer can reject it.
Right. Let's go pick our next story on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. USAID's sponsorship of Boko Haram, Senate summons NSA, DGEs of DSS, NIA, DIA.
This is very exciting, and I'm glad this is happening. Unfortunately, they're going to be doing this behind closed doors. So we will never really know the truth about what has been going on, which is a very, very sensitive issue. Very, very sensitive, because it's a member of the U.S. National Assembly who said that USAID was sponsoring Boko Haram. The implications are heavy, to the point that it states here that the president met with, that's Aquaman, he was back, met with the Senate president yesterday, and I'm sure it had to do with this. And the story writer says that intelligence agencies chief to explain allegation, Akpabio Ningi disagree on claims. Tinubu Akpabio meet in Aso Rock. So but it's going to be behind closed doors. Some of us we had a fair idea, or we had a fair hunch about the way this is, because if you look at the way Nigeria was treated way back, remember we even bought some arms that we weren't allowed to take delivery of, and President Jonathan has more than an essay to write. He could probably write a whole book.
That's right.
On the intrigues that went along with these things.
In volumes.
African countries need leaders with open eyes. We don't need leaders who have gone to borrow the eyes of Oyibo. We need African leaders right now. We've been taken for a ride for so long. The whole world rests on African minerals. The economy of the whole world rests on our resources. We've been kept around like football all over. And our leaderships have been toyed with. And therefore, Nigeria has a golden opportunity in 2027. And these are one of the issues we need to look out for. An indigenous Nigerian leader who has the interests of the country at heart. If you're a student of international politics or just somebody who picks perception, look across the continent. Foreign interests everywhere. Across the continent, foreign interests, left, right, and center. And I think, I like what is going on now. Africans are being awakened to what is that, for them to know that you have no friends. That's the first thing you need to agree to. You need to take cognizance of. Africa, you have no friends. You're like a meal. How can you be friends with the chicken you want to kill on Sunday? How can the chicken say you are his friend? We have no friends. And our leaders, a lot of our leaders in the past had sold us for a dime.
I mean, I was going to ask that, yes, if you ever thought that would be, there will be a day where Africans can be truly and genuinely be free? Because over time, it appears that any African leader, it doesn't matter whether you are the poorest in the index that they usually release every now and again, or you are the richest on the continent. The moment you are elected as a leader, you are captured.
Well, I don't think in my lifetime that is going to happen. I mean, well, at my age, that is easy to say. And I don't think for the next 20, 30 years it will happen. What I am hoping is that there will be more enlightenment amongst our people. You understand? That burning fire to be independent will be such that those are the issues that will be put forward that we want to make sure. And it's because our leaders have a different mindset. If you look at if you look at the things they amassed in their lifetime, and look at what happened to people like Mobutu Sese Seko. He built Basilica, built this one, built things. You could see that somebody was tampering with their minds. Until we have the kind of leader who has an African spirit and thinks of his people. We don't. On the continent of Africa, I can't think of one. As I speak, I can't think of one.
Is there going to be that awakening that you said? Because you said that is,
Well, it's coming bit by bit. Luckily, the kind of things that Europeans are trying to bring up now by sending a lot of Africans back home, hopefully that will bring about a revolutionary spirit, and Africans will begin to think African. Because what is happening in America is going to happen in countries across Europe. It's going to be very difficult. Those places are congested.
I mean, when it happened in China, in Singapore, in the East Asian part of the world, they didn't wait for their citizens to be sent back home. Their citizens went back home to go and develop their country with the knowledge transfer that they've acquired in the West.
Yes.
But in this part of the world, no Africans. I mean, look, it's very insignificant. The people culprits that come back home willingly.
The culprits, you see, and I don't mean any disrespect. The major culprit is religion. Religion. If you look at India, see where India is today. They were colonized by the British. They didn't take their religion. They didn't take their language. The same thing with Chinese. Speaks Chinese. If you can't speak Chinese, that's your headache. They didn't try to be more Oyinbo than. But what happened? I want people that came back wearing timber coat in the heat, wanting to speak like Oyinbo. They also came with religion. They condemned your culture. They condemned your religion, and you took it hook, line, and sinker. The Indian today, even the gentleman who was the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, he practiced his Hindu religion in number 10 Downing. If he was a Nigerian, he would almost be inviting the Pope to say morning prayers for him. That is where the problem lies. Look at what religion is ravaging us as we speak. It's setting the minds of our people apart. The first set of Pentecostal churches that came here were flying American flags way back in the 80s. The first one that was somewhere in Victoria Land, I think. It was somewhere, that then was Lekki. They were flying American flags. When they say religion is politics, it has set the minds. Why do you have that 99% of GOs always wear suits? In some churches, they say to be an usher, you must wear a suit. Why can't you wear a kaftan? These little things. We've been a victim of brain cleansing. Yes. I'm not mean to disparage anybody, but let's look at it critically. We are more westernized than the Westerners themselves. If it wasn't for Shagari, it was Shagari because his figure didn't go well with suits. I said that we'll still be wearing timber coat as we speak. Those heavy duty suits. So, but what is happening is these people that will be driven back, okay, the more the Western world makes it impossible for people to migrate to those places, the more the awareness will be forced on us that we have to. How can somebody tell you that you shouldn't drink ogogoro but you should drink snaps? I've drank the two of them, it's the same thing. You shouldn't drink gin. As this young boy out of adventure, I drank Ogugu. The only difference between them is the taste. Oh, my joy, love money. You want money?
No. Oh boy. Let's take our last. No, this is our last story here.
Portable.
Yes, this is our last story here. Baba has handed himself over.
Yes.
It says Portable hands over self to police.
I want to address the Portable family. Thank God nobody died in this confusion that their son is allegedly, people like to use that word allegedly, it's a safe haven. What if they had pushed somebody and he had died? At the very least, he'll be facing a manslaughter charge. Efa Monyimora, I'm going to speak to you locally now, the family of Portable. You need to handle this guy. Who goes out to say, I'm a mental case, I have a card in Nigeria of today as an excuse for bad behavior? He has laid down the foundation where, by his own admission, the government can say, we better keep this guy for a while and let's take him out. If you don't know what to do with him, go and ask people who know. Go talk to some top lawyer, whatever, who will tell you how to get. That mainly that he did. It was alleged that cutlasses and so were found on them. What if all he would have taken is one of the officials, even if he had some health challenge, to fall down and die, and he'll be facing a manslaughter charge. So you need to, and the Portable, I don't know if anybody can talk to him. He needs to slow down. Face your music and make your money.
Yeah. It appears that he believes without controversy he can't make money.
It
can't be relevant.
Success is the most difficult thing to handle. And they might need to keep him away from certain foods and all other things, just so that he can have a clear head. Sorry, and most importantly, traditionally, let me say this one very quickly. Traditionally, what I have been told from childhood is, if an Oba has married a woman before, you don't go near them. Traditionally, whether you believe or not, yes, whether you believe or not, once Oba has married somebody, that's the belief. It didn't say you will die. It's not to talk less of now ridiculing. Okay, because it's not, once you have become an Oba or a queen of Oba, you're an institution, you're no longer a human being. Be a guni. Be a guni.
All right.
One is like it label.
Okay.
You know what that means?
Yes, I do.
Translate it into English.
They'll put him inside the house.
So they will put the house inside him.
Inside him. We have to go. Lagos, thank you so much. What's coming up at night?
I have, like I said, Major General retired. Yes.
Right. Brilliant. Lagos, to join us again at 9 o'clock for Daily Digest. In the meantime, we're heading back to the morning crossfire with Kofi Batels. Morning to you. .3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.